Okay, so super quick. Right here, really nice guy, by the way. 68-year-old male, moderate neck, upper trap, shoulder pain. Traveling a little past the shoulder, so that means there's some like pinched nerve involvement. But this is his neck from the side, okay? And what you want with your neck is you want a curve like this. You want it to be curved for shock absorption. You want space between the bones. He's got some here, he's got some here. But if you notice, what do you notice here? See how it gets to be less? And also see how the bones start to get rough on the edges right there? Those are bone spurs. So obviously this isn't an MRI, it's an X-ray. If he was to get an MRI, it wouldn't shock us if it showed a bulging or herniated disc. We treat those all day because if the spine stays stuck, then that's what causes the disc to break down. So what we do is actually get the spine moving. This is his A to P. This is the front to back. So let me just zoom back a little bit. Look at his head on top of his neck. I mean, look at this, okay? So in a case like this, because people ask all the time, well, you know, how often should I come? You know, we base it on the phases of healing, which, you know, can take some time. We also base it on the history with that patient. We do a motion study, we do a penning study. So it's a motion study, which I didn't pull up here, but it can show us how many bones are actually stuck, and then the phase of degeneration, the age. We take all this into account. But in a case like this where, you know, he's been dealing with this for quite some time, again, he's 68 years old, he's an active guy, all right, plays volleyball, sits at work 12 hours a day from home at a desk, by the way. And he's only been able to come one time a week. So he just said to me today, man, and today's the 8th visit. So it's the 8th visit. In a case like this, my best recommendation would be a lot more than that to start, at least 24 to 36 to get this stable. That's not like, oh, it's, you know, as stable as it can be, but even from a posture standpoint, when you hit 60, you better not be going forward like this because that can affect your balance. But he said, man, you know, it's still bothering me. He's been doing once a week. I told him come 3 times a week, ideally. He's doing 1 time a week. He said, should I explore other options? I said, he's like, another option? I go, yeah, well, or another plan. I said, yeah, plan A is 3 times a week. He's like, well, what about plan B? I go, that's twice a week. Explore other options. What's a medication going to do for this? What's an injection going to do for this? Nothing. It's not going to move this. This is what we specialize in. So sometimes you just got to give yourself more time. But I think also, you know, we're not 25 anymore. You know, I'm in my 50s. I'm not 25 years old. I'm not going to bounce back like I did when I was in my 20s. I think as we get older, a lot of times we just think, oh yeah, I should just bounce back like I did 10 or 20 years ago. It's like, no, it takes longer, you know? So it's like if you start working out, you'll see, you know what I mean? You don't get the results like you did when you were younger, right? So if you went to a trainer and you weren't getting in shape and the trainer said, hey, train with me 3 times a week, we're gonna do a solid, you know, 3 months and we're gonna reevaluate, and you're like, well, I could do 1 time a week. What do you think the trainer's gonna say after a handful of sessions working out if you're not jacked and ripped like you think you should be? You understand? They're gonna say, well, first of all, you gotta give yourself a little grace, you gotta do it more, but you gotta make it a priority. So I think that's really the key. So we're still working on them. We haven't given up on them, but I'm trying to explain to them that, listen, it's gonna take some time.